The live stream of tonight's podcast is made possible by our buddy Ian Service over at podcastaccelerator.com.
Shoresy and the Bulldogs are feeling the pain from another loss 20th in the campaign. While Nat thinks of folding, Shoresy's plan is a bold one to make sure the Bulldogs never lose a game.
Tanya, you ready?
Yes.
Good, because you're fucking going.
Yeah. Matt, you ready?
Yes.
Good, because you're fucking going.
Yeah. Victor, you ready?
It's not a goldfish.
Good, because you're going.
Yeah.
That fresh produce stand there, that's a beauty.
What do you listen to?
My favorite murder podcast.
Taggart and Torrance podcast.
The produce stand.
Fucking sexy.
It's Taco Tuesday, and that means we are once again hanging out at the produce stand. Podcast paying tribute to the great Canadian show Letterkenny, but now we are also paying tribute to Shoresy. I know what you're thinking. There are many other podcasts about Letterkenny out there, but this one is never going to lose again. I'm Al, your host, and joining me in the room as always is the lovely Tanya, and online we have Squirrely Matt and the violent Victor. And joining us tonight, he's a professor, which makes him far too smart to be in this group. He likes cooking, lakes, forests, silly conversations with his son and his wife. He's a good guy. He's a really good guy. Please join me in making some noise for Robby.
Wondrous. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Wait. Oh my god.
I regret nothing.
Welcome to the Produce Stand, Robby. This is your first time on an episode. You've been, at egg alls and after parties and stuff before, but this is your first time as a panelist. Welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, it's good to be here. I forget that you do that sort of intro. That threw me a bit.
You forget?
Yeah, I was going to say, well, you need your intro. I feel like we would have cheated you out of your intro. So, remind everybody, where are you speaking to us from today?
Currently my temporary home in Boalsburg, Pennsylvania.
Okay. Temporary because
my wife and I are on sabbatical this semester.
Mm-hmm.
So we're spending the semester working at Penn State University. In about a month, we'll go back west. We work at Washington State University.
Oh, very cool. So are you looking forward to getting back west?
Yeah. I'm ready to get out of this humidity.
I was going to say it's probably less humid over there.
much less humid. And I miss my own house and particularly my own kitchen. So yeah.
Very good. So where did you discover, or when did you discover Letterkenny?
I think it was summer 2019. So the show had already started and I had not heard of it. And I walked into a buddy's house and his roommate was watching Letterkenny and he said something like, "Oh, you're watching this again?" And I looked at it, I said, "What is this?" And it looked interesting. I feel like maybe especially early on, there was something about the lighting and maybe even the color saturation that it just had a different look to it.
Right.
And I was surprised that I was totally unaware of it. Because I'm obsessed with all things comedy. We left there, went back to the Airbnb we were staying in, and they had Hulu, and I immediately started watching it. And, and then very quickly watched the entire series.
That's amazing. When did you start with this podcast? When did you discover us?
I feel like it was pretty recent. I think in the winter, maybe.
I feel like you're right. Yeah. It was pretty recent.
Which is another thing. It's funny because not only did it take me a while to be aware of Letterkenny, but I didn't know this podcast existed. And the other thing I'm obsessed with is podcasts. Oh. So I can't believe it took me so long to find it. But the nice thing is when you find something that already exists, you get to binge a whole bunch of it all at once before you catch up.
So when you caught up, were you like, crap, now I got to wait every week?
Yeah, it's always like that.
yes. Very good. Well, so we're going to,
how are you now?
Get to know our weeks, and the lineup tonight is Al, Victor, Tanya, Matt, and our guest Robby will have the last word. So we start with me, my week. So unfortunately today we were supposed to have an interview with Darren Rose, but that didn't happen. He got called as a last minute replacement for somebody else and he had to fly to Arizona. So, but he's very apologetic and he's asked, or he said that he'll join us next week. So we're going to reschedule that. My week's been a little less hectic now that, Yes, We Were Open is done. Season 2 is done, but it's still pretty busy because today I was actually prepping for 3 podcasts, one for work and then the interview with Darren and this one tonight. Because I only found out about Darren, halfway through the day. So it's been kind of hectic, but it's been all right. I can't complain. I'm podcasting, so no one's gonna listen to me complain. I also started watching the new Star Trek. There's a Strange New World, I think it's called, and it's really, really good. I highly recommend it if you're a Star Trek fan. Check it out. There's some Letterkenny connections in there. Bradley is in the first episode. And so is Mrs. McMurray. Obviously, they're not playing those characters, but it's pretty good. I'm really enjoying it so far. And I can't think of anything else. So, Victor, how are you?
I'm pretty good. A little tired. One of those 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. days. And then when you told us that the podcast was going to be moved, I thought I'd go for a run, and then the DJ called me up and said, "Hey, can you do this one extra thing for me?" So I did, and then I went for my run. So just came back in time for this podcast, and I'm here. So pretty good. Not complaining. It's all good. And Linda and I started watching Stranger Things, so we're already halfway through that one, and it's everything that you expected. All the tropey 80s nostalgia, which is
perfect.
The reason we watch it. And so if you like that, if you like the previous seasons, you'll enjoy this one. If you thought it was too goofy, then you'll probably still think that. So,
no, I've been looking forward to it.
Yeah.
It feels like they've been off for a long time though, I guess.
They were, but then, everyone was concerned that, they're going to get too big, and they made it work. It's a first class production.
Right. Some of those actors will look much older with a couple of years, right?
They made it. Well, it's not an issue. They made it work. And it's written well. It's shot well. It's just a super pro. I mean, there's the money they're throwing at that show, I'm sure, is incredible. So
right.
Anyway, so definitely recommend it if you already have been enjoying it.
Yes, but I mean, we loved the first. This is season 4, right? Yeah. Tanya and I loved the first 3 seasons, so we're definitely going to watch it once we have some time. Tanya?
Well, we're only on Tuesday, but I must say I'm already very discombobulated.
I love that word, by the way.
It's a great word.
I learned
use
it in an elevator
whenever I can.
Love it.
I use that word, especially for Awesome, who uses words that go over my head sometimes. So that's my big one. That's all I can share. That's the top of my game on the word salads. Anyways, we're on Tuesday, but it's a messed up week. We've got a PA day thrown on a Thursday this week, which is just absolutely
uncalled for,
preposterous. I'm going to use preposterous on that one. Yeah, for some unknown reason, the school board gave us a Thursday PA day, which makes absolutely no sense.
Which means most of the parents are keeping their kids out of school for the Friday as well. So it's just a long weekend for the kids, not for the parents.
Yeah, we've got cousins coming over, a family of 5. So the house is going to get real full real fast. And they've got the PA day on the Friday, which makes sense. And so they're heading into town in the afternoon. So just preparing for that. And
there's a comment about what's a PA day.
Right. So
not a thing in the States.
Well, maybe it's called something different. A PA day or a teacher. It's a professional activity day, or they also call them PD days, professional development days. They're just days off for the kids, but the teachers have to go in and, I don't know, work on lesson plans or probably just drink in the lounge. It's, Robby.
A lot of times they're called in-service days.
Oh, okay.
In school districts that I've been around.
Yeah.
So school kids are off, but teachers are in working on something.
Yeah. The teachers say, we've got to do some things, figure it out. That's your kids.
Be a parent today.
Yeah. So that's what PA day is. So PD.
Yeah. That's the other word. Yeah.
So we're just getting ready. Like it's June 1st tomorrow, which is crazy. So we've got a month left of school and then headed into summer. I think that's I pitched my itinerary for our trip and that went really well. I got gold stars on that one.
She got sign off after the first presentation. So that's unheard of. Yeah.
I love my spreadsheets and I love my pre-plans. So
We're going
hire me, please.
To fill people in. We're going to Newfoundland for 10 days in August.
Nice.
And
we're driving and we're taking an RV around Newfoundland. So we have 10 stops. I don't know. I worked it all out.
Yeah. Tanya worked out
the has experience driving an RV.
None of us.
It'll be fun.
Oh, that's going to be the best part.
Yeah, exactly. That's part of the fun is learning how to drive it.
Oh yeah. 2 families.
How hard could it be?
2 families of 4 in one RV.
It's a 31 footer. It's not that bad.
We figure we did COVID and we all managed to not kill each other in a house. So let's just throw it in a tin and see what happens. Like, I think it's fair game at this point.
It'll be good. Out on the open road. Yeah. What could go wrong? I haven't seen any of those cheesy RVing movies like the one that Robin Williams is in. So I don't know.
Oh, we could totally do a story on this one.
Surprisingly good for as bad as
that wasn't a cheesy movie. It was a great.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Oh.
I actually saw that with the whole family when that came out years ago.
I liked it.
What was it called?
It was called RV.
Oh, perfect.
And it's Robin Williams.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to put
comedy, but it's actually pretty entertaining.
I'm gonna have to put that on the list for this weekend.
There you go.
That will be great.
Okay.
Thanks.
Big rolling turd.
Matt, you're up.
I'm up. It's been a hell of a week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, all in, I'd say it's been good. I was saying in the pre-show, wifey's down and out for the count. Sick. She's been sick since last week. That's not what makes it a good week. In case that was a bad segue between those two comments.
Pretty bad there.
But no, she's just been a hot mess. I know I missed the rehearsal for the table read on Friday because she was out. It was bad. And she hasn't left her room all day today. I'm hoping she's over the hump, but we'll wake up tomorrow and deal with it then. But she's sleeping right now. So, I mean, I've had me on double duty parent dad mode, so that's fine. Aside from that, we did Wonderland on the weekend, which is our amusement park here in Toronto.
Do you have seasons tickets or something?
We do. Yeah. It was actually
okay. That's why
gifts from my parents. Mm-hmm. They bought us all season tickets, which I think we've already agreed this is going to be our annual ask from them for Christmas presents because it's paying off really well. Mm-hmm. And I convinced my 8-year-old to go on Vortex, which is this pretty wild roller coaster there. It's still not the biggest of the baddest, but it's a pretty good segue.
It is a good one.
He was scared shitless getting in line, but we convinced him to do it. And the greatest thing was when we were done, he was sitting beside me. I'm like, Reese, you good, buddy? And I see his hand lift up shaking and he gives me like a fist bump. He's like, that was fun as he's like quivering.
Oh my God. Vortex.
I'm like, attaboy. I'm like, but it was fun. He's like, yeah, I just can't feel anything. I'm like, it's okay.
What ones has he hit up? The Vortex can't be the first.
Well, so we went from like the Ghoster Coaster, which is the child's one. Then we did Dragonfire, which has double upside downs and spirals. So went right to that and then went to Vortex. So
wow,
we elevated him very quickly. But
what's the biggest one's the Leviathan, right?
Oh yeah, and that freaks me out, man. That thing is wild.
That's not that defines nature. So I was told that they had fireworks a couple weeks ago, and that the fireworks are lower than the drop of the Leviathan.
It's insane. I've done it. It's so much fun, but it is absolutely wild.
It must feel like a free
the super wide one. Is that the Vortex?
Yukon Striker?
Oh, Yukon Striker. Yeah, that
I
one
went
looks
to get in line with that one last week, but there was a huge lineup, and I'm like, I have a season pass. I'll catch it another time. I haven't done it yet, but I'm dying to do it.
I'm not somebody who will ride a roller coaster to begin with, but I feel like the people who are sitting out on the edges of that one, that's got to be like really messed up.
Oh no, I'm a thrill seeker, man. I wanted the bigger the better, and it scares the shit out of me, but I don't care. That's the fun of it, right? That's what I kept saying to my little guys. We got in Vortex. I'm like, the fear is fun. Like that's what you need to recognize. There's bad fear and there's good fear. Roller coaster fear is the fun fear, and you need to embrace it.
Yeah,
he handled it like a champ.
I feel like our bodies, that there's a cutoff at some point where then there's like heart concerns, and that like now you're at the point in the age that you need to shut that shit down. Oh. And like
my cutoff was about 46 years ago. Yeah, you can't pay me enough to get on one of those. What about you, Robbie? Would you go on a roller coaster?
I do not like roller coasters. No. I don't like the feeling. I'm not a fan. I like water parks.
Yeah, sure.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
No. Give me the
Lazy
rush.
Rivers is Alan's speed.
That's more my jam.
Wild Water Kingdom with the hippo as a mascot.
Is that place open anymore?
It's not called Wildwater Kingdom anymore. It's called, oh God, something else. It's the same place, but they've renamed.
Do they still have the hippo as a mascot?
No, maybe. I don't remember.
You suck.
Thanks.
I'll give that a Google.
One job there, Matt. One job. All right.
It wasn't my job.
I had a season's pass to that place when I was 18. We went only for the reason to hang out with the lifeguards.
Right.
Because
But it feels redundant to have one now because they have this water park near us in Toronto here as well, which whatever we can't think of the name. But at Wonderland, the amusement park also has a water park, which is almost on par to the independent water park. So you get access to the amusement park, you get access to everything. So it's like, why would you go to both when you go to one and get everything?
Because you either are going to do one or the other. There's, you want to go and spend a nice relaxing day at the water park. You're not going to go and then stand in these unreasonable lines to get on those stupid rides. You got to be in the mood. Like, plus the thing about the Wild Water Kingdom, whatever it's called now, is they
Was that
had
in Brampton?
beach.
Yes.
So it's Wet and Wild now.
Oh,
that's it.
I thought Wet and Wild was just a different park altogether.
No. It's that's the same.
If it's
one.
in Brampton, then
it's a slip and slide here, folks. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, whatever.
Anyways, we really went off the rails there.
That's all right. All good. Robbie, you already kind of told us about yourself, and you guys are looking forward to moving back. How's your week been?
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, I don't know if you guys just noticed someone in the chat said tomorrow's my mom's birthday.
Oh.
And I feel like I would be a bad son if I didn't ask everyone to wish her a happy birthday because she's watching on the live stream.
What?
Oh, wow.
Is she?
Is she really?
Her and my sister are watching. Yeah.
Oh, hey,
my
happy
God.
birthday, Mom.
Yeah, happy birthday, Robbie's mom. This is
If
awesome.
you're watching, then you are a year wiser.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
I am totally going to watch what I say now. Clean my mouth out.
Oh no.
This is extended family support we're aware of.
Yeah, this is
I love
great.
Yeah, no, you do not need to watch your mouth around my mom. By any means.
Wait to give us a disclaimer up front.
I know, right?
I'll tell you, my mom's Letterkenny origin story was, and my sister's on the stream as well. My sister already knew about Letterkenny, but I introduced my mom by showing her a shirtless picture of Jared Kiso.
Oh, okay.
And the attentions paid cold open. And I think she was sold. And so they actually, months later, they went to one of the Letterkenny lives.
No way.
That's great.
Your mom is a goddamn rock star.
Yeah.
Right.
She should be in the DM group. What's going on here?
Put her on the video. Call it in. Come on, Mom.
Amazing. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, this time of year is easy. I'm on a 9-month contract at my university. So right now I'm actually off work. I'm on, unpaid vacation, I guess. And so that's easy. But the other side of it this week is my wife is at a week-long conference, so I'm solo parenting.
Oh, fun.
And I don't understand how single parents
God no
survive.
Takes a lot out of you, eh?
Yeah, just solo parenting for a week is a bunch.
How many kids you got?
Just one.
One?
But
one's enough, right?
I often describe him as having the personality of a border collie. Because the kid's never walked anywhere in his life. He runs everywhere. So
how old is he?
Handful. He's 5.
Oh, busy. Busy. 5.
Yeah. Busy time. All right. Well, you got him in bed just in time to record with us tonight. So well done, Dad. And
so at any point, what I'm hearing is that Matt and Robbie can get called away.
Let's hope not. Let's hope.
He's a good sleeper. Once he's out, he's out.
Matt's got the monitor.
Oh my God, your baby.
Oh boy.
I got the monitor in one hand and a quadruple eye in the other hand.
So you're
good parenting right now.
Parenting right. I feel like Victor's been in meetings since 6 a.m. So figure he needs a coffee. So why don't we hear from our sponsor here? Here we go.
Hey there. Wait, what are we doing again?
The sponsor read.
Oh, okay. Wait, we have a sponsor?
Yes, it's Eric.
Oh, I know Eric. He's a good guy.
I know.
Did you know he sells coffee?
Yes, of course I
think it's called Diabolical coffee.
Can we just...
It's devilishly good coffee.
You don't say.
He also sells diabolically awesome swag.
Terrific.
He's got a roast for all tastes.
Is that right?
Yeah, you can order whole bean, coarse, standard grind, and espresso.
It's espresso, but whatever.
Hey, don't you and Tanya use K-Cups?
You know we do.
I think he has those too.
Wonderful.
Imagine if we could use promo code like Produce Stand to get 10% off coffee or merch from his store.
Yes, that would be cool.
Wait a minute. I just had a brilliant idea.
What's that?
We should get Diabolical Coffee to sponsor the podcast.
We should.
Yes. Why have we never thought of that before?
I give up. Thank you, Eric, and Diabolical Coffee, and Victor for that inspired
That
ad
is
read.
bloody brilliant.
Oh, Victor.
And speaking of support, welcome to new Twitter followers: Surgeon RX2 from Connecticut, Cody Pike from Houston, Real Taco Farmer from Columbia, Illinois, Jonathan Burba, Todd MNT, Cyro. Oh, geez, I should have read this one. Cyrofine Likely, Sean McKinnery from Raleigh, Arlay Champ Gibson, Alex Crabtree, Ryan L, TB Player, Kinsey Elwell from Indiana, Jessica Huggins from Aurora, Colorado, Jonathan Hoover, Dave Mosier from Ontario, Brian Higgins, Ben Bosserman, Nathan Bohm, Justin Shore from Clearwater, Kansas, Eric Pro Borshuk, Fatberg Slim from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I am a Stegosaurus from Jason. Just from wherever. Jason O'Brien from Kilkenny. Glenn Stensaker from Ohio. Michael Clark, Big Dave Grant from West St. Paul, Manitoba. Here we go. Chucky B.
Sound right?
No. Greg Sagres from Hopkinton, New Hampshire. KB from Oregon. Trisha Clute. Go Trucks 4-wheeling. Blowfish Without a Hootie from Texas. Tim from Garland, Texas. Bradley Davis, affiliate links from Hamilton, Ontario. Andrea Barr from Portland, Oregon. Amy, Rudy G, Cody Cap, Rob, The Gospel of Shoresy, great timing for that. And that was like months ago that he would have started following us. An Unconscionable Ball Breaker, Crow Tuck, Bryce Beckman, Matt Goodwin from Knoxville, Tennessee, Squirrely Dan's older brother from Idaho, Dwayne Fruke, Casey Kenny from Stratford, Ontario, McLaren Stevenson, Chris Ham, and JoJo on a bike in Boulder. Thank you for following and hopefully for listening. Where the hell's my previously? God damn it.
Previously.
It's been too long.
Previously on Letterkenny.
Yeah. There you go. Matt got you.
It's gone.
It's okay. Matt did it.
I did it.
Fine.
You don't need a button. You got a Matt.
I think the Stegosaurus guy.
Well, the fact that it's not here, though, is very concerning.
You only have one job.
I know. The hell? Do you see it?
Previously.
Oh, there it is.
Previously on Letterkenny.
Last week, we held our first Egg Hall Social in months. It was really great to catch up with our listeners. We had a lot of fun. This week, we begin our highly anticipated, well, by us anyway, recap and reviews of Shoresy, beginning with episode 1, Never Lose Again. I've done my homework. Victor, have you done your homework?
It is.
Tanya, have you done your homework?
Shoresy, come on, Shoresy.
For what?
We're finally watching Shoresy. We're watching shows again, people. Of course I watch. I watched it twice.
Matt, have you done your homework?
I did. This is the first show review we've done in a while.
I know. It's feeling weird,
it just
isn't
occurred
it?
to me. And I got
get
extra
some
excited.
energy, people. Come on.
I forgot what it is we do around.
Oh, there you go.
Clearly.
And Robby, have you done your homework?
Did.
Oh, he's got notes. Excellent. So here we go.
Well, don't bore us. Get to the chorus.
We open with a hockey panel discussion called Bro Dude Presents Questionable Call. The show is hosted by Anik Archambault. Yes, the same Anik from Letterkenny, played by Kim Cloutier. Also on the panel are Olympic hockey gold medalist Tessa Bonham playing herself. She's also appeared on Letterkenny as herself during the Senior Men's Hockey Championship episodes. Brian McGonigal, a.k.a. Rear Admiral from the real life hockey podcast called Spittin' Chicklets. And he's also playing himself. And Jay Onright from TSN Sports Center playing himself. There seems to be a little verbal jabbing going on between Jay Onright and Anik.
And last and least, the big shot.
Big shot?
Formerly of Fox Sports 1.
And I think you mean last but not least, Annie.
Nope. Host of Sports Center with Mr. Jay Onright.
That's on right.
Mr. Jay Onright.
Little language barrier there, I think. It's fine.
The first question up for discussion by the panel is, what's the dirtiest play in hockey? Tessa answers that it's the slew foot, which is when a player kicks another player's feet out from under them. RA's answer is going knee on knee, citing an instance where Ulf Samuelsson hit his hero Cam Neely with a knee on knee hit. Nick fakes going to Jay before denying him his turn and giving her answer, which is submarining, which then when a player avoids getting hit by getting very low, causing the would-be checker to launch over him. And then finally, Jay gets his turn. His answer is a sucker punch, which is self-explanatory. Nick calls slew footing, submarining, and sucker punching the Brad Marchand hat trick, which I completely agree because there's no dirtier player than Brad Marchand. The second question the panel tackles is, who is the dirtiest player of all time? Jay says it's Chris Pronger. Nick says it's Dino Ciccarelli, and RA says it's Ulf Samuelsson. But Tessa goes off the board with her pick.
The dirtiest player by far of all time is a dude called
Shoresy?
Who?
Shoresy.
Him.
Shoresy. Yeah, I watched the coverage of that national senior championship. If he's that dirty all the time.
Like how dirty?
Well, he's gonna get you. He doesn't care who you are. He doesn't even have to be on the ice.
So he's a pest.
Well, with pests, they always say you love them if they were on your team, but...
No. His stick budget must be stupid because he breaks one or two a game over something. Or someone.
I texted Biz and Whit to get the lowdown on this guy, and a couple of their boys played with him back in the day, and Biz says nothing personal here, but apparently he cries a lot. During the anthem, it's full waterworks city like he's watching beaches or something.
And that's just...
I'm not done yet. He also likes to take a shit before every game and also between every period.
As I was saying, that's just the on-ice stuff. The off-ice stuff, from what I'm told, is crazy.
How crazy?
His patented move was going up behind guys when they're hanging a piss at the urinal, bouncing their heads off the wall. Called that thing a potty kiss.
Tabarnak.
He does this thing that just drove me nuts during interviews, too, where he'd ask a question, then right after he'd go, huh?
Huh?
Look, we'll try it. Okay, I'm going to ask you a question. You answer, okay?
Allons-y.
Don't you think hockey's getting a little soft?
Well,
Huh?
Where's this guy now?
I was in a golf tournament with the Felinos this summer, and they said he was playing senior way up north in their town.
That's my town.
Sudbury?
Born and raised, baby. Sudbury, Ontario. Probably one of the toughest towns you'll ever be in.
Bertuzzi's from up there.
There's an impossible amount of good-looking girls in Sudbury.
Take a lap, Jay.
There's a 4-team senior league up in the area.
Wait, so they only played 3 other teams all year?
The Northern Ontario Senior Hockey Organization, otherwise known as the No-Show.
Can you imagine how much those guys want to kill each other?
Well, Shoresy's a killer.
Sounds like he's in the right place.
Yep. Senior hockey hell.
All right. I know that was a very long clip.
Did you just run the whole clip?
No, it's not. It wasn't the whole cold open, but it was a long clip. But I had to run it because it had too much important information that sets up the entire series. So I had to run it because we learn a lot in this clip, and we'll talk about that in a second. But just quick production note here. The Northern Ontario Senior Hockey Organization, also the No-Show, which is the perfect acronym for this, does not exist, obviously. There is a hockey team in Sudbury called the Bulldogs, but it's a minor peewee team in the Windsor Minor Hockey Association. So this is a completely fictional league with the perfect name, though, the No-Show League. So that's the cold open. And again, I kept the long clip in because we learned so much. We learned about Shoresy. We learned he's a crier. We learn about, Sudbury having impossibly a lot of great looking women. We learned so much, right? So I couldn't really cut it short. So now, obviously, if you guys remember, this is where we talk about the cold open. I love this cold open, obviously, because it's setting everything up and it touches all the points. And it sets up the series perfectly, and it gives us what to expect from Shoresy, which, up until now, we didn't know what to expect because all we've ever heard is the high pitched chirping and never seeing his face. And now we see already a different side to him, even though like they're saying he's a dirty player and stuff. There's already some of those quirks that we're going to hear about, that he asks a question and follows it up immediately with huh, before you can answer. Like all these little kind of character traits that are going to come back and haunt or delight us, however you look at them. It was a lot of fun. So I think this is a really well done cold open to set up the series. Victor, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I love the subject matter, right? So it's totally I think it's important that you couple of things. I think it helps if you know who the people are. Obviously, if you're watching Letterkenny, you know who Nick is, but for you to kind of just know who Jay is and Tessa, even though she was in that episode, I think it helps. And then just knowing the references, right? So they're talking about hockey players that, again, to an American audience that doesn't necessarily follow hockey. There's like one of the biggest, most anticipated games is happening tonight between Edmonton and Colorado. You know, two of the biggest hockey stars in hockey, McKinnon against McDavid, and there was one of the commentators taking an Uber to the arena for this game. And then he's asking the Uber driver, saying, "So where are you going here for? The Nuggets are out of the playoffs." You know what I mean? So it's like a completely different perspective from Canada to United States. So I think it helps to kind of to know who the players are, even the reference to the Foligno brothers and stuff like that. So for someone like myself, someone who's, it's that much more meaningful, right? It's like when they're talking about wrestlers and you know who they are, as opposed to somebody who doesn't follow wrestling. It's like whatever. So I think this really worked for people that are into hockey, right? So this was like a perfect, great cold open if hockey is your thing, and hockey's my thing, so I loved it.
I think it works either way. I think it works if you're into hockey because there's a lot of that inside hockey stuff. But if you're not, I think there's enough there. Well, we'll find out. I think there's enough there if you're not a hockey fan that you still enjoyed it. But what did you think, Tam?
It's hard to say.
So before we get into the Shoresy part of things, Anek, breaking Jay Henry's balls there at the beginning. Do we know what the backstory is between those two?
No.
Like, am I forgetting something?
No, there's no backstory.
I think she's angry at him because she made a reference to going to Fox Sports, right? How he kind of went to try and do his big thing in the States and then came back with his tail between his legs. So I think maybe she's kind of angry at him for turning his back on Canada.
I don't know, but I think
was that in Letterkenny?
No, it wasn't. No, that's a real life reference. Like he's
a real life character in the show.
Yeah. No, I know, but Tanya's thinking that maybe she missed something in Letterkenny that would have set up this animosity between the two characters. I don't think so. I think he's just the kind of character that it can either rub you.
Like I love the power moves she had on him, but I just didn't know if there was a backstory that we were missing out on as to why she was cutting him short.
No, he's just a goof, and I think she treated him that way. That's all.
All right.
Maybe they dated and he didn't pay for the meal.
Maybe but that would be very inside baseball and nothing we would know. What did you think of the overall cold open though?
Yeah. So I love the Shoresy rundown and them going around the table and giving us more and more of his character and who he is, and his crying, his shitting, his before and after game ceremonies. I thought that was really good. What was I going to say? The Shoresy rundown. You were asking, you know what I appreciated?
What?
That they were giving the dirty plays, like the submarining and stuff. And I have no idea what submarining is. And then they gave the visual of
they showed
what it was.
Yeah, it was great.
So that was really helpful. And I appreciated that because otherwise I'd be not interested in it at all because it was hockey references. And I was like, I don't know what that is, but seeing it did bring me in. So to answer your question, I'm not a hockey person, but I was still interested in this.
Okay. Well, what did you have to say, Matt?
Well, I'm a massive sports guy, so
very much so.
So I think they had to do this. I make that joke because obviously I'm not a big sports guy, but I have always said I love sports movies and stories around sports. So I think Shoresy is going to work really well for me from that perspective. The whole setup I think was fine. I wanted to laugh more, but I get why they did it. They're giving us a 6-episode season of something around a character we know very little about because all he's done is, like you said already, chirp for 10 seasons, right? We don't know he's just an asshole. No, turn my mic down. Sorry.
Okay, I sent that discreetly so you wouldn't stop talking. You do it after.
Okay. Is that loud? Did I go up or down there?
I think you're fine now. You're better now.
Thank you. It's okay. This is a safe place here.
Oh, jeez.
Al doesn't want to edit.
I told you I'm not editing. Whatever's on the teleprompter.
I read anything that's on there. Quick, send them something.
So yeah, no, it was great. I think, yeah, like I was saying, it's very necessary. I think they really set the stage, and this was their out for not having us ask 1,000 questions as we got into the meat of the story.
Sure.
Right? They filled in all those little blanks, gave you little nuances, told you about Shoresy, what to expect. And of course, played to his character. The guy is a douche and he does these crazy ass things, and didn't hide away from that at all. So no, I thought it was great. I like that they brought back Tessa Bonham. That was great. And Nick, I thought it was an interesting move, but I love her more. I don't know. Every time I see her, I fall in love with her a little bit more. So, and I think she's great. I had the same question you did, Tanya. I'm like, I don't understand the reference here and why she has her hate on for Jay, but it made me laugh, and I like that he kept trying to get in there and she just kept cutting him off. So no, I thought it was a fantastic way to start all in, and it set the stage for what was coming, and that's all we can ask for.
Yeah. So just a little background on Jay and Dan, which were the comedy duo on SportsCenter. Jay Onray, he kind of plays the goofy guy, and Dan was the straight man. So he always had that personality where you would kind of, that's how you would treat him, because that's the kind of personality that it would demand that treatment. So I don't think there needs to be a backstory there, but yeah, I love the tie-in also. And Nick is hosting that show because it's a bro dude show. And if we think back to Letterkenny, she was hired by bro dude to be a spokesperson. So I thought it was a neat little tie-in. What do you think, Robby?
I thought it did a really good job of setting the stage for a couple of things. One was that the show is a much bigger scope. That, the whole thing about Letterkenny is that aside from going fishing in Quebec, it's really about this isolated community, and it's not as if Sudbury is a huge place, but it kind of sets the stage that this is a larger kind of world that they're playing in. And then I thought the things that it was RA, is that who it is?
Yeah, RA. Yeah.
Talked about Shoresy crying. I thought that was great, and then you see him almost cry right there in the first episode, and I won't spoil anything, but when you finally get to see him cry, it's completely shocking and hilarious. And then also somebody pointed out, I believe he does this thing where he asks a question and then you start to answer and he goes, huh?
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, having that set up for me punctuates every time he actually does it. It's even funnier.
Yeah.
Did they do it through the rest of the show? Like, has he done that before? And I just
no, not on Letterkenny, but
no.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a part of it. So I agree, Robbie. Yeah. I'm like, and once they said it, I can't unhear it every time he does it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, did they do it the whole time? And I never put it together.
No.
That lady did that part of her show. She told you everything that was going to happen before it happened.
What was her name? Nanette, the comedian Nanette. And it's so powerful in the show. Hannah Gatsby. That's it. Yeah. She started with her latest comedy special. She starts by saying everything that's about to happen. Like,
tells you everything up front.
Yeah. And then, so every time she does something that she just foretold, for some reason it's funnier. So yeah, it's kind of funny that they do that.
Yeah.
All right, cool. We're going to move on into the scene. So a little warning here. You probably already noticed, because this is the first time in a brand new show, I'm going to be stopping a lot to talk about who these actors are, because this is our first time meeting a lot of them. So apologies up front, but just so we get to know them a bit, like we do all the Letterkenny actors now. So scene 1, the horn sounds to signal the end of a hockey game. The home team was shut out 5-0. Cut to the Sudbury Bulldogs locker room, where the players sit at their lockers dejected. Coach Michaels, played by Ryan McDonald, who's a very experienced Canadian actor from Nova Scotia with over 40 acting credits on IMDb, including Smallville and Battlestar Galactica. Coach Michaels tries to lift his team's spirits with a pep talk about how good the other team is and how hard they battled them. His pep talk is aided by another player in the locker room by the name of Sanguinette, played by 25-year-old Harlan Blaine Kitwaihat, a relatively new actor on the scene. Shoresy is only his second acting credit. Coach Michaels' pep talk is interrupted by farting noises coming from the bathroom stall. Of course, it's Shoresy, who's taking exception to the coach's tactic of praising the other team. Shoresy complains about how fucking bad the Bulldogs are. Sanguinette tries to say something in the team's defense, but Shoresy tells Sanguinette to shut the fuck up. It won't be the last time he does that. Coach Michaels asks Shoresy what he wants. Shoresy answers that he wants to never lose again. Coach implores Shoresy to finish his shit and go talk to him in his office. Shoresy corrects Michael, saying he's not shitting, he's puking and shitting at the same time because this team is so fucking bad. He's lost control of his body functions. Michael makes the mistake of telling Shoresy if he knows so much, then he should teach him something. There's a beat of silence, and then Shoresy begins teaching his coach, Michaels.
Your broad sent her tits to my buddy on Instagram, then him and my other buddy fucked her in Muskoka.
What?
More hockey players have your broad's tits on their phones and have fucking Uber.
No fucking way.
She followed me to Pepe Panini after Ribfest one time and cleared the place out with her coke farts.
My guy.
Shut the fuck up, Sanguinette. Everyone knows you got an underwater squeezer from her off the side of our party island last summer in Wasaga Beach.
Hold on.
I could have got one too, but I was having an aqua dump. No, you know what? Fuck you, Shoresy! Fuck you, Michaels. Your sweetie stalked McDavid's girlfriend at Boots and Hearts and asked her if she wanted to taste it. I should fold this whole fucking team! Yeah, stick with me, Michaels. You'll learn something new every day of your life, you piece of shit.
Michael storms out. Shoresy flushes and comes out of the stall, slapping a pack of chewing tobacco and calling Michaels a fucking loser. Scene 2. In the GM's office, we have Ziguan, a.k.a. Zieg, played by Blair Lamora, a relatively new actress with a couple of credits for Outlander and Paranormal Night Shift, and Migwan, played by Kalani Elizabeth Rose, an award-winning actor, DJ, and classically trained dancer. Some of her credits include Within the Silence, Flimsy, and The Color Rose. Zieg and Meeg, as they're known, are sisters, and they seem to work for the team. Their role is as of yet unclear. They're leaning on the GM's desk, leering at Shoresy and Sanguinette, who are standing there like a couple of kids in the principal's office. Meeg informs them that the GM wants to see them at the Colson. Shoresy's reaction is very much like a kid who was told the principal wants to see him, as he answers with incredulously, "For what?" Meeg tries to answer, but not before Shoresy interrupts her with a "huh?" And then she tells him he's a veteran. He's supposed to lead the team. Zieg tries to belittle Shoresy.
Aren't you too old for this? Like, how old are you?
You're too young for me, Zieg, and Meeg, it's bordering on harassment at this point.
We just got pumped 5 goose for the 20th loss of the campaign.
Well, Michael's a fucking joke.
Michaels wants to fold.
No.
What do you want us to do?
I want us to never lose again.
What's an aqua dump?
Huh?
What's an aqua dump?
It's when you take a dump in a lake.
It's taking a dump in any body of water.
What about a bathtub?
That's taking a dump in a fucking bathtub, Sanguinette.
In this case, it was a lake.
No, it wasn't.
Okay, you told your coach that you got a squeezer from his sweetie while taking a dump in the lake.
I said I could have got a squeezer. Sanguinette actually got the squeezer from her.
Her brothers are super weird. Sanguinette.
They weren't together at the time.
Look at you getting a little pee-pee whack.
Do you think it's funny? Getting a booster in a lake?
It was a river.
I said, do you think it's funny?
I don't think anything's funny. I'm trying not to cry.
Oh, don't cry, my guy.
Shut the fuck.
Why would you cry?
We just got pumped 5 goose for the 20th loss of the campaign. I think the only reason I'm not crying is because I already cried a little bit.
Then fix your makeup, bitch. Jim wants to see you at the Colson. Now.
Oh, man. Production note, the Colson is an actual live music venue in Sudbury. So every location that we hear about on this show are actual locations in Sudbury.
Even Pepe Panini's.
Yeah, especially Pepe Panini's, yes.
Yeah.
Scene 3, a classic Letterkenny slow-mo musical montage at the Colson. Sanguinette enters the club. It's filled with very attractive women. After all, as we now know from the cold open, there's an impossible amount of good-looking girls in Sudbury. While Sanguinette is at the bar having a beer, a blonde on the dance floor catches his attention. They stare at each other as she dances for him. Just then, Sanguinette's trance is interrupted, and so is the music as someone comes onto the PA in the club.
If you're the owner of a black F-150 with license plate JKLK084, your lights are on. Also, if you're a fucking loser that just got pumped 5 goose for the 20th loss of the campaign, meet me out back.
The music comes back on. Sanguinette looks back to the dance floor looking for the blonde, but instead, he gets a face full of Phil, played by John Ambrose, a Canadian actor / stuntman with many credits such as Titans, The Umbrella Academy, Heroes Reborn, etc. Phil is a big, tough-looking dude who doesn't seem to appreciate Sanguinette's interest in the blonde. He shoos Sanguinette away. Sanguinette leaves. Shoresy witnesses this entire encounter from afar. Production note, the license plate that is called out in this scene, JKLK084, is thought that to stand for JK is Jared Kiso, LK Letterkenny, and 084 would be the year that Kiso was born. So a little Easter egg there.
We're the same age.
Yeah. Well, there you go. You're practically twins, right?
Twinsies.
Scene awesome. Might beg to differ. Scene 4, outside behind the bar. There seems to be a brawl going on, possibly some bouncers taking care of some Sudbury degens. We'll see those bouncers again later. Watching the entire scene is Nat, the GM of the Sudbury Bulldogs, played by I'm going to say that's Tasha Tellies, a Canadian actress known for The 100, Supernatural, Prison Break, among others. Shoresy and Sanguinette come out and greet Nat.
Hey, Nat.
Fuck you, Shoresy.
For what?
We get pumped 5 goose for the 20th loss of the campaign, and you're like, yeah, so, hey, Nat.
Well, your coach is a joke.
Your coach wants to fold.
No.
We're no quitters,
Shut the
Nat.
fuck up, Sanguinette.
And what's this I hear about you taking a dump in his girlfriend's lake?
It was a lake. It wasn't her lake.
But you can't own a lake.
Do you know how much I spend on that guy?
Me?
Oh my God.
No?
Flights from Toronto every weekend, hotels, rental cars, his fucking fee.
Well, you're an idiot.
He coached pro.
Yeah, if you can't do T.
He played NCAA.
You can't even fight in that league for fucking Euros.
I hate losing so much.
I never want to lose again.
Nat says she hates losing so much. Shoresy says he never wants to lose again. Nat's regretting spending money on coach that wants to fold. Shoresy explains that it's because of Coach Michael's girlfriend pushed up on Sanguinette. Nat brings up her mom. If she saw how bad the team was, she'd shit in her grave. Shoresy agrees that the team is pretty bad. Sanger tries to agree, but gets shut up by Shoresy. All Nat wants is bums in seats. She says that if they can't be scoring, they should at least be filling them in, meaning beating up on the opposing teams. Shoresy agrees. Nat asks him then, why don't they do that?
The kids don't want it. They don't skate, they don't score, they don't hit, they don't fight, they float.
They don't love to win.
They don't hate to lose.
I hate losing so much.
Well, that's what makes you such a sniper, Nat.
Oh, you think I'm a sniper?
To a lot of guys. To me, you're a bit young.
I'm crestfallen.
But I hear dudes saying Nat's a sniper all the time.
Shut up, dude.
Like if I had a Sudbury big nickel for every time I heard a dude say Nat's a sniper, right, I have a 20 spot.
That it?
Do the math.
Shoresy leaves. Sanger stays behind to try to defend himself about the Wasaga Beach squeezer, but Shoresy shuts him up from inside the bar. Scene 5. Another slow-mo musical scene shows Phil, the big guy from before, walking into the men's room and Shoresy following him. Moments later, Shoresy walks out of the bathroom. The door swings open to reveal Phil unconscious on the bathroom floor, probably on account of a potty kiss from Shoresy. Scene 6. We're at the...
Well, wait a second. Do we want to pause and maybe just have a little banter about that? So
go ahead.
So first, I was kind of a little confused as to kind of what happened between him and Sanguinette. Like, I didn't piece it together exactly. Like, why is he kind of in his way?
Mm-hmm.
Is he like her boyfriend? Is he her father? Like, is he just a bouncer? Like, what is? I don't think there was enough context to even kind of explain like what that was about.
Okay.
And then next thing you see, Shoresy doing that to him, and then you think, okay, well, you know, they're basically showing that, yeah, he's telling him to fuck off all the time, but shut up, but he loves him, you know, they're best buds. But it just seems like an extreme overreaction to whatever we just saw, which is, I guess, if that's true, then again, that's showing another layer of Shoresy,
right,
that how, you know, crazy he is.
Mm-hmm.
But then I just feel like nothing happened.
Right.
Like we didn't get enough context of what Phil actually did wrong.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, but anyway, so that's how I saw that.
Yeah, that's fair. I think it could be seen as an overreaction because you're right. We don't know. Like, I mean, I think we're supposed to assume maybe that's his girlfriend or something, or maybe he's just crushing on her and he doesn't like Sanguinette looking at her that way. But I think you're right that that whole scene was just meant to show us that even though Shoresy's always telling Sanguinette to shut the fuck up, they're actually quite close. Shoresy will do a lot for him, so they must be really close buds. I think this is the first time we see that, right? Up until now, he's just been telling Sanguinette to shut the fuck up.
Well, and also, I mean, when he went on that rant about, you know, they don't care about losing or care about, like, they don't care. Sanguinette cares.
Yeah.
So he's a teammate that cares, and regardless of whether he's good or not, there's still that loyalty, and he's got his back.
Yeah. But I agree with you, Victor. I think it was a bit of an overreaction, but so I think maybe it was more of a plot device than anything.
I just kind of took it because it was already mentioned prior to they had the conversation during the whole cold open that he gives the urinal. What did they call it?
The
kiss. Something kiss.
Potty kiss.
Potty kiss. So I think it doesn't. That's just kind of who he is. That he'll do it to anyone that goes into the bathroom. So I kind of thought I didn't really piece it together that there was a reason behind it. I like what you're saying that he
just
had
used the moment as an excuse to do his body kiss.
It's possible, and I think we're gonna find that. We're so used to Wayne being this virtuous fighter, and he can beat anybody fair and square. Shoresy doesn't give a fuck about fair and square. He'll do what it takes to win, dirty or not, right? So, and the potty kiss is right down his alley, I guess.
Is anyone else getting with Sanguinette when he says "shut the fuck up, Sanguinette"? Is anyone else getting "shut the fuck up, Donnie" from The Big Lebowski every time they hear that?
Oh, maybe. Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah.
I didn't get it, but I like that.
So it could be an homage to that, right? Yeah.
Could be. It's been far too long, so I didn't make that connection. But yeah, that's totally
good call.
Could be a thing.
All right. Scene.
If there's any Folgers references, we might be able to confirm that.
Scene 6. We're at the hockey game with teenage players. We're at a hockey game with teenage players. Shoresy's reffing. This seems to be his job. We see a different side of Shoresy here, acting as a voice of authority while he still chirps back and forth with the teenage players, mostly about their acne, sometimes about their mothers too. He's also oddly supportive of them.
Number 22 minutes roughing. For what? For being a fucking idiot, Corey. I'll call the guy who retaliates every time. Call him fucking both. I've had about enough from the Clear Sill kid. Get in the box, you fucking pimple farmer. I can't wait to watch you play tonight, Liam. You're going to play so good. You're going to play so good. Hey, who wants to hurt their team more, boys? Keep it up and find out. I'm only taking one of you. 6 in.
You're fucking awful tonight, Shoresy.
Yeah, keep working hard, Corey. You can be just like me.
Oh, yeah, I remember laying in bed as a kid dreaming about reffing high school hockey on a Friday night.
I remember laying in bed dreaming about the time your mom tongued my butthole so good I put her in my phone as roll up the rim to win.
How do you make that fucking call in a game this tight? It's a fucking 1-goal game.
Yeah, thanks, Stewardess Obvious. Cut the lip.
Fuck you, Shoresy.
One more Neutrogena tantrum out of you and you're getting the gate, bud. Try me.
At one point, the chirping gets so bad, Shoresy ejects one of the teenage players, and as a player heads to the locker room, he lets it slip that the Bulldogs are folding. Upon hearing this, Shoresy follows him into the locker room, asking him where he heard about that. Scene 7, cut back to the GM's office. Shoresy, Sanger, Zeke, and Meeg are standing off with each other once again.
Who told you we're folding?
Doesn't matter. Are we folding or not?
Nat's on her way.
Just, if we're going to fold, can you please tell me now?
Why?
Because if I'm going to cry, I want to be in and out of it before Nat gets here.
Pussy.
Big. I hope the squeeze isn't weird, because if anytime you want to grab some sand.
Shut the fuck up, Sanguinette. Was it not a river?
Sanger proclaims that Michaels was a terrible coach. Just then, Nat walks in. She announces that she fired Michaels. Shoresy says good, because he's a fucking joke. Nat finishes her point to say, because they're folding. This causes Shoresy to well up.
I can't lose again, Shoresy. Not one more game. I can't live with it. The Bulldogs used to be it in this town. Most fun you can have on a Sudbury Saturday night. The social event of the week. Standing room only. It's fucking embarrassing now, man. You think my mom gave me the keys to the club because I know everything about hockey? Fuck no. She gave them to me because she knows I care. And I would take care of it. Fucking sports are supposed to bring communities together and families. They serve a purpose. It's important.
Kids in sports stay off the streets. Drugs kill dreams.
I just want bums in seats. Families together and watching the game like mine did. No one comes to watch. No one cares.
Can you blame them?
No.
Sorry, shut the... Do you know how hard it is to give a shit about a hockey team that can't win a fucking hockey game?
The Sioux have outscored us 19-0 this year. So we're so fucking good.
Please don't fold.
Nat asks why she shouldn't fold.
Please don't fold.
They're why they shouldn't fold. They're firmly in the basement. The town's turned their back on them. They don't even have a coach now. What are they supposed to do?
Never lose again.
What?
This team will never lose again.
Wheels are already in motion, Shoresy. I gassed Michaels.
Sanguinette'll coach.
But I'm a player.
Sanguinette, you're a healthy scratch on a last place club in the no-show. Hang him up.
What's your plan?
Me?
Oh my God.
Fucking one top line of Canadian grade studs to fill the net, surround them with the toughest natives we can find.
Tough natives is redundant. That's a good plan.
It's a really good plan.
It's the best fucking plan I ever heard in my life.
My man.
We'll just use the money that you were going to spend on Michaels to bring in 4 guys. We'll turn this ship right round.
Then that's 4 guys she'll have to put up in hotels.
They'll stay with me.
So you're saying you've got 4 studs who will completely uproot their lives to live with you and play senior hockey in Sudbury. Are they fucking inbred?
Does anyone kind of think Zieg maybe wishes they were?
14 league, 4 games left.
Timmins North Bay once, Sioux twice, all 4 on home ice.
We could get in right before the trade deadline.
I want bums in seats.
Watch this.
I can't lose one more game.
We won't.
Shoresy.
This team will never lose again.
If we never lose again, we win the league.
Shoresy acknowledges the statement and doesn't flinch. Nat agrees to the plan. She warns Shoresy that if they lose one more game, they fold. Shoresy cuts the tension by telling Nat that if she was 15 years older, he'd think about taking a run at her. She dismisses him, but that gives her an idea. If Shoresy really thinks they can do this, he should go tell his friend at the press. This gets Shoresy excited for some reason. Nat turns to Zieg and Meeg. They need to bring in another sponsor, a big one. Meeg adds they'll need to get some tough natives. Zieg corrects her, saying tough natives is redundant. Nat knows exactly the natives tough enough for the task. She leaves with Zieg and Meeg. Shoresy and Sanger silently celebrate their reprieve. And a little production note, in the previous clip where Nat's talking about the Bulldogs being the thing to do on a Sudbury Saturday night, those words are likely an homage to the song Sudbury Saturday Night by legendary Canadian country and folk singer Stompin' Tom Connors. So look that one up if you want to hear that one. Scene 8. Nat, Zieg, Meeg are standing out behind the Coulson. There's another brawl happening involving the same guys from before. Zieg asks Nat if they play hockey. Nat responds, this is Canada. Everyone plays hockey. Meeg asks when Nat thinks Shoresy will meet with the press. Nat says in 10 minutes. They're meeting at the doghouse. Nat talks about how much Shoresy loves Laura Moore. We're to assume Laura Moore is the reporter. She's played by award-winning Canadian actress Camille Sullivan, known for shows like Taken, Da Vinci's Inquest, Intelligence, Rookie Blue, The Man in High Castle, Unspeakable. So many. She's got so many credits. And production note: the Doghouse is an actual sports bar in Sudbury. Next scene: cut to Shoresy and Sanguinet at the arena talking about his love for Laura Moore.
Paul, can you fucking blame me?
No, my dude. But you really think we can do this? Like, Timmins is good and North Bay is really good. And the Sioux are so fucking good they dummy us. I feel like we should tell the league to have an eye for us folding before playoffs.
Sanguinet?
Yeah?
Give your balls a tug.
And fade to black. All right. There is episode 1 of Shoresy in the books. And I start. So, I mean, what can I say? I loved it. I loved this introduction to the Shoresy world. I thought it was really good. Now, Matt, you said you made a comment before that I think it was a cold open, wasn't as funny or whatever as you were expecting. Yeah. I feel like overall, Letterkenny was going more for jokes, and this is going more for story. I mean, I think they're setting up a lot of characters that have quirks that are going to make us laugh every time those quirks happen. But I think the stories that they're setting up are pretty, very, very much more deep than here than they are in Letterkenny.
Well, it's an actual story that they can follow along with, whereas Letterkenny doesn't typically. They have like story notes that kind of loop back, but this one, they're like, you're right. Mm-hmm. They're setting a formal story that we're going to be following along.
I love the relationship between Shoresy and Sanguinet. I think they're setting that one up to be like they're best friends. I mean, I know that in the beginning, it seems like Sanguinet's being walked all over by Shoresy, but we're seeing that Shoresy will do anything for Sanguinet, or at least beat the shit out of somebody for Sanguinet. So that's an interesting relationship there. Nat, the GM, and Shoresy are they're two peas in a pod. I think they're like, the male and female version of each other. I love the backstory they have there where her, she's inherited the team from her mom. If you take a closer look at the pictures behind her in her office, there is one picture. I think maybe it's later on we see it closer up. So I'm afraid this might be a spoiler, but there is but it's in clear sight. There's a picture of her mom and Shoresy in the picture. So that tells me that the three of them are tight. in some way, right? So I think this is like, and I've seen on a few occasions online saying some people comparing this to like a Canadian version of Ted Lasso, and the kind of the parallels are, I know, Victor, you're shaking your head, but the parallels there. Somebody's coming in to improve the fortunes of a team, just one's hockey, one's soccer, and I okay, Victor, but well, I haven't seen a blue spatula yet, so maybe I haven't gone over there. He's reaching for it now. I think there's some parallels there, and I think we're going to see more parallels as the series goes. I love the turn of phrase. They don't hate to lose. Sorry. They're not afraid to win or something. They don't hate to lose. Whatever that phrase is. They don't hate to lose. I love that. It
was the best way to describe, and I agree. I can't remember how they said it.
I wrote it down. I quoted it.
Can you read it?
They don't hate to lose.
Well, I got that part, but it's the part before it that kind of makes
they don't love to win.
Yeah, something like that. They don't hate to. That's what it. They don't hate to win. They don't hate to lose. Or sorry,
they don't love to win.
They don't hate.
There's a big statement there, right?
Yeah.
Tanya had it right, and then Al, you corrected her the wrong way.
Did I?
Tanya had it right.
Trying.
So I just mansplained my way.
It means they don't care.
Yeah,
they're not invested in the team.
I really enjoyed that turn. Yeah,
but it was so poetically said, and it was delivered so well.
Listen, I use similar thinking in even my work. Like when I partner with people in my office, I look for people who are passionate about what we're doing. If you've got someone who can do the job but doesn't really care about it versus someone who can do the job and is excited about it, it's a very different mashup there. So I get 100% connected with that statement.
Yeah. Listen to your wife was saying that. Jason's saying that on the chat. Anyway, those are my initial thoughts. I really enjoyed it. I thought it set this up really well, and I just love kind of the difference in character we're seeing already in Shoresy. We were all worried, what are we going to do? How are they going to do a spin-off with a two-dimensional character like Shoresy? But the nice thing is, because he was two-dimensional in Letterkenny, they had a lot to work with. They could basically make him out to be whatever they want. And so far, it's an interesting character that they're building here. Victor, what do you think so far?
Well, my favorite hockey player was the Timmins Tornado, so I'll be rooting for Timmins in this series. So we'll see what happens. For those not acquainted, that's Steve Sullivan. He retired already.
Okay.
About 10 years ago. But anyway, he played for the Leafs, for New Jersey, for Chicago, and then for Nashville. And I think finished his career in Pittsburgh. But he was always exciting every time he touched the puck in the ice. Anyway, so again, I want to make sure that my bias for the subject matter doesn't doesn't disrupt my kind of critique of the episode. So I'm going to kind of, because I love the subject matter. I've been waiting for this. I've said, I think many times before, the very first time I saw Letterkenny, I thought it was going to be a hockey show. And then I, 11 or 10 seasons later, I finally got my hockey show. So, so I love that. That said, I think that after kind of watching this episode twice, I see lots of room for growth. So I enjoyed it. I liked it, but I definitely can pick at it. One of the things that I kind of think I'm hoping they will improve on, because you did say that you think that they've set up some very deep, the word deep storylines. I hope you're right, because I think that the premise that they used to set up what we're about to see is kind of ridiculous.
Okay.
Right. The fact that there's only 4 teams. So you're right. So, and again, I don't want to, nerd this up too much, but there's some practicality to it, right? Like, how can they fold and that league actually how can they not destroy the league of 4 teams by folding? Yeah. Like that's one first thought that comes to my mind. Second thought is, what the hell is Nat doing paying some idiot coach to fly him in or whatever, stay at a hotel when there's such a horrible and like they 19-0 being outscored 19-0 by the Sioux. Like, what is she thinking? Like, I'd hire the local hall monitor, and it would be the same result. So that part never made sense to me. Like Michaels, I'm guessing that's the last we'll ever see of Michaels, or maybe not. Who knows? He'll come back. He'll be the coach of the Timmins team. We'll see. So that's kind of the other kind of ridiculous part of it. So I thought that the whole threat of folding kind of seemed like it's just they needed something to set up the rest of the season, right? So they needed something to get Sanguinet in there as a coach. I don't know. I just felt that if I was in the writing room with them, I'd say, guys, try harder. Try harder. Give us something. Give us a slightly more. I get this is just a show, but give us just a slightly more realistic arc that gets us to the rest of the season. So I enjoyed the episode. I just felt like they could have done a little bit better with the setup.
Okay, I buy that. There's no reason they needed to make it a 4-team league. They could have said a 6 or 8 or 10 team.
Yeah, why not? Then it's a little. Then you can kind of digest it a little bit better.
Trace tried to remind us that the NHL was once a 6-team league for sure. But to your point, if it's a 4-team league and one of the teams folds, then it's only a 3-team league, and you can't have a league with only 3 teams. No. So there's that. I don't disagree with that for sure. 10, what'd you think?
So scene 1, we saw that scene already because that was part of one of the trailers that was released for Shoresy. So we'd already kind of seen it. It wasn't a surprise. The first time I had seen it in the trailer, and this time as well, I thought, okay, what a weak coach. Why would Shoresy ever work so hard? Because at the end of Letterkenny, we saw him, skating till he was puking to try to get onto this league that he just has now, he's barfing and shitting because they discussed him so bad. And it just, the connection there didn't really make sense. I know that they're separate entities.
Sure.
So I was trying to put that aside, but yeah, the weak coach and, him doing his Shoresy thing, being on the toilet and, doing all of that. So that was that, scene 2. And then as we're continuing on through the story, I do love how there was more of a story, and more, background and more storyline to it. It feels a whole lot meatier than if we're referencing it back to Letterkenny. I love the dynamic between Shoresy and Nat. I love Nat's character. She's so powerful. She does remind me of Tanis. Again, sorry, I'm comparing the two, but
it's hard not to, right?
The banter between Wayne and Tanis is so similar to Shoresy and Nat. They're two powerful characters kind of going head to head with each other, and she holds it. She holds her own. He respects her. He doesn't, chirp at her or anything like that. And she speaks so well on her point, her view. Like, again, she's like, I don't know hockey. I don't care about hockey. I want bums in seats. She's just that straight up businesswoman that knows what she wants, and she is trying like hell to get it. Right. So I love that part. Sanguinet and Shoresy, you keep on referencing their relationship, and you see it when Nat is giving Shoresy the folding speech, and him like holding back the tears. I love Shoresy and his reaction and those like tiny little sounds that he was making, and even his hand motion of him like wiping his eye.
Yeah.
And how he wiped his eye. It wasn't just like, nonchalantly like wiping it away. It was like a few different wipes.
Well, like a kid too, after sobbing or something.
A kid would.
He's very childlike.
And reaching out for Sanguinet, like just kind of, support me, and again, that goes back to what you're saying, Al. They have a relationship there. And that it really shows true in that moment, I felt. And actually, that was in my notes, but it was also mentioned by one of our listeners as well. I can't remember who the heck it was. Anyways, it was in the feed as well. What was I going to say? Yeah, Nat, I loved her performance. I loved, she's just going to be a great character to watch. I kind of hope that because I know with Letterkenny, it just kind of jumped from one story, like one episode, and it didn't really follow through. Like it a little bit did, but it didn't really carry it. So I don't know what this one will do. If this one will have like a sequence of some kind to go from one to the other.
Will it stick to the story, or will we have a completely different story next episode?
Yeah. Will it be about, 4 different new different characters? Yeah. Well, we know that there's characters coming, right?
Yeah.
And I do like Victor's points that, they're spending all of this money on a coach, and it is a little bit of a loss there on storyline.
Well, she's a businesswoman. She wants bums and seats. Maybe she hired this coach because he used to be a pro coach, thinking that he would change their fortunes, and obviously he didn't. So
yeah,
maybe that's why. Matt.
Yeah, it's I think it's following the tone of the cold open. I think this was a necessary episode to set. So they basically are fast tracking as much as they could in one, 25, 30 minute episode or whatever it was to set the stage so they can then pace themselves beyond this is what I think has happened here, right? We were given 10 seasons of the other characters. One episode of this is effective as hell. Didn't make it a bad thing. It's just that's what they did. They're really just expediting everything. From the story perspective, I think it's fine. I feel like I've heard this story a few times over the years in different movies and shows. But I mean, it's small town. I get it. I'm not gonna nitpick that. It works for what they're doing and where they're heading. So I'm okay with it. But I've definitely seen this story before where we need to find a way to get bums in seats. We need to revamp the team. It's not a new story, but it's fine.
The story doesn't have to be original if the characters are original.
Do you agree? And that's why I'm not nipping. I just want to call that. I know what Victor was saying. He's feel like he's sort of seeing. I get it. I totally agree. I've heard this story before. That said, I mean, let me call it right away. I'm totally crushing on Migwan. Oh my God, I love her. She's so cute. And I have to say that out loud in this episode because she's my new fave. Sanguinette, where's he been? This kid, you said this is his second credit?
Yeah, he's only got 2 credits on his IMDb. And this
kid's a rock star already. I love him. I'm absolutely enthralled by him. And I have watched a couple episodes ahead. I think he is. Yeah, whatever. I did it.
Settle down.
We did it. But I think what he brings to the table is the perfect balance against Shoresy, and they play off each other so well. And I'm so glad that he is part of this show. Again, I don't know who he is. He's new to the scene, but welcome to this thing, man, because you're delivering on all cylinders, and I'm absolutely loving it. So I'm a Sanguinette fan all in right now. So that's big. One comment I'll make, and this is an observation from a Shoresy perspective, is the fuck you, Shoresy. What I've realized is there's a bit of a hierarchy in how he addresses and responds to fuck you, Shoresy. Right.
Okay.
So
interesting.
If you want, right. So, when he's reffing or he's talking to the coach, and anyone he doesn't, that he almost seems like he thinks lower than him, he bashes back and he does his Shoresy chirp with no hesitation, and he delivers and just destroys them. But when you get people like Nat or other folks, especially the females there's this, what for? Like what's he saying?
For what?
For what? What for what? Like he immediately is like on the defense and he backs down very quickly. So he definitely has a tone in how he responds to the fuck you, Shoresy comments based on who you are and what you're bringing to his situation. I thought that was very interesting because they're all saying it, right? It's not like it's just like, I like that they've continued it on and they've really set the lines between the various characters and who could say it and who cannot.
But that's a typical thing for bullies. I remember in high school, we had Billy Cook. Sorry, Billy, if you're listening. He went by Will. The teachers called him William. Then his acquaintances called him Billy, and his close friends called him Slim. He was a big man. One of the kind of less popular kids called him Slim, and the guy got totally destroyed against the locker. And so again, his friends called him Slim. No problem. Somebody else called him Slim, and then he gets beat on. So it's a typical bully thing.
That's a great point. You're not wrong at all. And I keep waiting for. I don't think it happened yet, but I keep waiting for a moment at some point in the series where Sanguinette's going to turn around and be like, "Fuck you, Shoresy," and he's going to be like just a deer in headlights. Right?
Yeah.
So that's my prediction. At some point, he's going to lash out on him. But I love it. I mean, I think this is a fantastic start. To the cold open point. Was it the funniest episode of anything? No, but I think this is a necessary episode to set up everything that's about to come.
Okay.
Who looks at Shoresy though and goes, we need a ref for the young kids?
Well, he was a ref on Letterkenny, so he had experience.
Come on.
Referee experience.
Okay, but now he's better well known. He's known for being dirty. He's known for being
he was
chirping.
doing a great job as a ref. He even said, "Hey,
great.
if you guys don't simmer down, I'm going to take one of you," which is what refs do, right?
Yeah,
that's how they threaten players. It's like one of you is going to get in trouble. You don't know which one. So
I really enjoyed those reffing scenes because and I forgot to mention during.
I take the one that retaliates every time.
Yeah, like just he's being supportive of the kids, but he's also chirping them, and the thing is, he's not chirping them as hard as they're chirping back at him, which
you don't think?
No.
Yeah, no, he was cute to them. He was more rough on their mothers, but to them, he was,
No, he was actually encouraging to them at some point, but the kids being teenagers, they see him and they see, an old guy who's reffing teenage hockey and somebody they don't need to respect. Right. But you can tell there's history there. Like he knows them all by name. And it's hilarious. I really enjoyed those.
And I don't think they would want.
No, he's calling them by their first names.
Yeah, I don't think they would want any other ref. I think they're loving it.
Yeah, I think they love having
like a Big Brother thing.
Yeah, I think so.
On that quick point, what do you think the timeline is? Because where we left in Letterkenny, he was on his way to Sudbury, and now we're here. He's very well established. Like you guys said, he knows all their names. He's part of the community now. What do we think in the timeline here is?
Oh, I thought it was like saying within the months.
I don't know.
Or are we saying the season because there are 20 losses
maybe
in
the season.
Yeah.
Like he went to go join them in to start the season. Maybe I don't know. That would make sense. Robbie, you haven't said anything yet, so we apologize.
Robbie.
Don't worry. It's Tanya. My guess is that he's the only person willing to spend his Friday evening reffing.
What else is he going to do? Work in customer service? I mean, come on. Like, what can he do?
Oh my God. Can you imagine Shoresy in customer service? Oh, we need to do a skit of that.
Well, what did you think of this episode?
I have zero complaints. I really liked it. I think I think it's a different genre than Letterkenny, where Letterkenny's a straight comedy. This is much more like a sports genre. And so I don't mind that there's not as many constant jokes, especially with all the exposition they had to jam in.
Right.
To, I think it was like 23 minutes. I love that, that Shoresy, it's very obvious that Shoresy does not give a fuck about anything but hockey.
Right.
Like, nothing at all, but he cares so much about hockey. He's giving that kid shit, and the kid says, "Your team's folding," and wait, we're folding.
Chased him.
They chased him down the hall.
Chased him off the ice.
Yeah. His tone completely is such a funny, shift. He also had, I think, even through all of Letterkenny, my favorite chirp ever by Shoresy was when he tells the kid, "What's fucked is how many times your mom has told me that a jellyfish stung her, so I'll piss on her."
I love that one. I know that's a Hall of Fame chirp right there. Yeah,
I think ever. But yeah, no, I had no complaints at all, and I think that as the show goes on, it gets funnier. But I I guess I'm not supposed to talk about future episodes.
Yeah, no spoilers.
But
Blue Spatula by Victor.
But yeah, no, I really liked it.
Mm-hmm.
And another thing that I noticed that they're setting up right away.
Mm-hmm.
And I know when you were doing episodes of Letterkenny, you talked a lot about them kind of subtly making social commentary.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed right away that everyone in the episode that has power is a typically underrepresented person.
Mm-hmm.
The lead anchor in the open is a woman.
Right. Yeah.
The Sanguinette is going to become a coach.
Mm-hmm.
He's an Indigenous person.
Mm-hmm.
Their owners are women. And I believe that continues.
Yeah.
They're none of the people in power are white men.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, I don't think that's an accident. No, you're right.
Yeah. No, you're spot on. I mean, and we're not getting it further, but there are other things in further episodes that I think they really took the time.
Blue spatula.
I know I'm not going into specifics, but
my spatula.
Give it to Robbie's point. They've really taken the time to really focus effort on things they don't normally do. So
in a smart way, they don't hit you over the head with it.
Right.
No, not at all.
Very good. All right. So let's move on to something we haven't done in months. Ratings. And I'm first. I get to go first. And you know what?
Do we do ratings before we do MVP?
Yes, absolutely we do.
I forget now.
Me too.
So
do we talk
Daniel, we didn't expect you to remember.
To remind our audience, and I haven't thought of a Shoresy analog to our rating system. So because we're still a produce stand, we're going to stick to our fresh clearance and compost rating system. So
it should be a hockey reference now.
Well, if you can think of one, great. But I'm going to go with fresh,
Victor?
clearance and compost, and I'm going to give this one a fresh because it did everything it should have done as a first episode. It set up the characters, it set up the stories. It was funny. It beat expectations because my expectations were low of a show about some character like Shoresy, and after watching that episode, I really liked Shoresy, the character. I really enjoyed him. I thought I love what they did with him. I liked the setup they have with Nat and Meeg and Zeeg and all that stuff. And yes, it is a very well-worn trope of, taking a losing team and trying to make them never lose again. So like I said, the storyline, goal, assist, and penalty. The storyline, doesn't have to be original if the characters are original, and I firmly believe that these are the most original characters on TV. Like I've never seen characters like these before, so I'm going to give this one a fresh. Victor.
So I'm going to give this the rating system a thought. I'm already thinking that the first place or the fresh should be something like the Gordie Howe hat trick or something like that. But I'll noodle on that one. For now, we'll stick with the rating.
I like Jeff's here. Jeff's was goal, assist, and penalty.
No, I like it. It feels a little bit on the surface. It works.
Surface
it works.
is okay,
I think
Victor.
we need something a little more clever. Anyway, so for this one, Al, I agree mostly with everything you said. I'm not sure that it was funny. It had some couple of kind of giggles and here and there, mostly with Shoresy's kind of little isms and stuff like that, but and a couple of chirps here and there. But for the most part, I wouldn't call it a funny episode. But everything else you said, I think, was on point. That said, again, my issue with the episode wasn't, or with the things that I critiqued, wasn't the tropey part. Like, that's fine. Whatever, use a trope. I thought it was just a little lazy. Like in terms of the thing with the 4 teams, they should have thrown in, it should have been a slightly bigger league to give it a little bit more juice. Right. The whole idea of, we're going to threaten to fold, because the whole threaten to fold, that trope, I think, has been around forever and ever, including Major League. I think that was the trope of Major League, if you guys remember that movie. I think the owner was threatening to fold a team. It's just a threat to fold a team in a 14. It just seems so ridiculous. And then the fact that Nat was paying for this idiot coach, those two things, it keeps me from having to give this a fresh. I have to give it a clearance, because I think that we need room for improvement. And I'm very excited about how they're setting us up. I can't wait to meet these inbreds that he's going to bring in. So we're going to learn kind of the layers of him actually interacting with people and stuff like that. Sanguinet, we'll talk more about him, but yeah, that was, incredible. So I'm very excited about this for what's about to come, but I want to make sure that I'm not setting the bar too high at the beginning, or too, I don't know what it is, but that I'm not overreacting to what we saw, and to give it a clearance.
Trace wants to choke you, by the way. Anyway, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm okay with it.
Tanya,
He's literally going to choke you.
What are you giving this?
I see, and I'm different from Victor because I thought it gave some dimensions finally to Shoresy, and I was thoroughly impressed and surprised because I really didn't know what was going to happen and how you could build on the character that we knew. And I love that they gave him that kind of soft side, if you will, and I did laugh. Like I thought it was funny how he choked up and wiped his tears away. And here's this guy that, he doesn't even bat an eye, like hitting somebody from behind with a stick. But then he chokes up and is saying, just tell me no, because I'd like to get a little cry in before Nat comes so that I didn't and how he reaches out for Sanguinet. And I love that the new characters too, or not new, or the characters, not new. I stop referencing Letterkenny.
Sure.
I like the characters that they have, and that, Nat is absolutely 100% somebody I can get behind. And so is, Sanguinet and Nat and the girls,
Megan T,
Zeke and Meeg.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to more character development on them. But I loved already the relationships there. Anyways, I'm gonna give it where are we going? A goal? Can I give it a goal?
Let's stick to our rating. Fresh, clearance, or compost?
Hat trick. It will definitely be a fresh.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't think Trace will want to choke you then. Matt? Unless you give consent, I guess. But anyway.
Ooh.
Consent from who?
Trace. And there's a lot of chat in the chat space around the scoring system. We'll figure this out, but I'm just putting my I don't have the other two figured out, but the fresh should be a beauty is my take on that one. A beauty. It just feels fitting. It feels appropriate. It's a beauty.
It should be Shoresy references. Give your balls a tug.
Yeah, the marchand.
Too many words. Too many words.
The compost could be the marchand.
Okay,
all right,
we'll get there. But I'm just saying for the fresh, I think it should be beauty. I think it's a beauty. Anyways, that's my say. So in this one, it's a beauty. It's a fresh. It was a great way to kick it off. Did I hope for a little more laughs? Yeah, but I think the story was there. I think they introduced some fantastic characters. They gave us a bit of everything. They set the story off for success. There really wasn't much to complain about. And you gave us Sanguinet, and I love him, and I can't wait for more and more of this kid because he just delivered, man. So yeah, it's a beauty, and it works for me. I'm really, really looking forward to this. Again, like I said, I love sports stories, and this is going to be a sports story.
Do you think it will be though?
Yes, 100%. Why would they spend so much time just setting up these different nuances?
Kiesel wanted to write a show about hockey, and this is his love letter.
It's about hockey, Tanya.
Think about Letterkenny. Every episode is very defined topic. They're like, we're just going to talk about the prostate this episode. We're just going to talk. They didn't do that. They talked about who everyone was, what's going on, what the biggest problem, who's the protagonist,
They're spending a lot of time educating people who don't know about hockey, about submarining, slew foot. This is a hockey show.
It would feel like we would also. I think we would be very annoyed if we got to the next episode and they went and did a whole separate. Hey, we're going to do a tournament weekend that has nothing to do with anything we just talked about. We'd be like,
who makes the best burger in Sudbury?
Yeah. Wait, you're not going to fold? Folding's not even a topic anymore. What do you mean? No, this is very intentional. We're getting a story, and I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes, especially the people that he's talking about bringing in, that I think is going to set up some fantastic.
Stop watching shows.
All the detail that they're putting into.
No, they talked about it. They said they're bringing. They want to bring in the natives.
I thought you were referencing something.
All the small details they're giving. Even like those scenes where he's reffing, the way he's reffing, he's doing it exactly like it would be done at a hockey game. And we're just getting a behind the scenes look at this. This is absolutely 100% going to be a love letter to hockey. And if you don't know anything about hockey and you watch Shoresy, you're going to know a whole lot more about hockey when you're done, for sure. Robby?
I totally agree with that. I think one of the things I like about this show is I feel like happy for Kiso. That obviously he loves comedy, but hockey has been such a big part of his life that I'm almost like just happy for him that he gets to create this thing around that other, big part of his life.
Yeah.
I think, Victor, I have a blue spatula as well.
Nice.
The next time you talk about a high school bully, I'll pull it out.
I know the stocks on blue spatulas are these days.
Oh,
wow. I don't have a problem with the ridiculous 14 league thing. I think that's intentional. That they're trying to say what is the most absurd idea in terms of like how infinitely small that could be. I think that's intentional. I don't have a problem with that. It's definitely a fresh for me. It's I think it's great for a lot of the reasons people have already talked about. And I think going forward, Tanya, I think a lot of your concerns, I think you're gonna be very happy with kind of the story arc. I've watched the whole series.
The entire series.
I'm not giving any foreshadowing, but
no,
have they released everything for the season?
All done. It's all out.
Yeah.
In the States and Canada?
You just don't know and don't care. It's great.
in Canada and States?
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was like a onesie twosie thing.
I believe it was Letterkenny Memes who said she's already watched through all the episodes like 5 or 6 times.
Wait a second. Did we not have this conversation? Come on. See, Matt, you need to take that back. I thought there was a conversation that they were releasing only onesie twosies at a time.
They were releasing 2 episodes at a time in Canada, but there's only 6 episodes, so we're done. When it released
they released ours 2 a week, 2 per week until aligned with the US release where they released the whole thing at once.
Yeah, the US got it all in one dump.
Oh,
back on Friday.
We kind of got it ahead of them, but we didn't get the whole thing. We all got the same.
Yeah. It's okay.
We got the last one together.
All good, man.
It's all good. Yeah.
Gotcha.
All right. So fresh from Robby. So, I mean, now we would talk about top 5s, but obviously this is the first episode of the series. So this is everyone's number 1. But Robby, I gave you some homework because
presumptuous.
Yeah, mine could be a number 2.
What would you put at number 1?
It's not the point, Al.
Anyway, this is everyone's number 1. We will talk about whether it's number 2 next week.
There's only... Okay, we have to shorten the list. It needs to be top 3. If there's only 6.
Well, hopefully there's going to be more Shoresy seasons to come.
Then you're just knocking off 1.
Yeah, that's fine. Don't worry about it. We'll get there when we get there.
Yeah, top 3 is fine, Tanya.
Robby,
good.
I asked you because this is your first time on the produce stand, but you've been listening to us from before, like when we were reviewing Letterkenny. If you wanted to divulge your top 5 Letterkenny episodes, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah, I think I spent more time looking at that than watching this actual episode.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Because I had to go back and take a look.
Mm-hmm.
Mine 5 is Dick Slip Out.
Mm-hmm.
I love Jonathan Torrance. 4 is Prostate.
Oh, there we go. Okay,
I just rewatched that today, and it's even funnier than I remember. 3 is Relationships.
Yes.
That one's great. It has the classic cold open. With the attentions paid. 2 is We Don't Fight at Weddings.
Oh,
I like the wrap up on that one. And 1 is the Letterkenny Talent Show.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it is a good one.
Swirly Dan is my favorite character.
Right.
And I'm kind of obsessed with stand-up comedy. And so it's hard to not like that one the best.
Awesome.
He was my favorite character until I truly met Alex and then listened to that interview and just what a genius stand-up comic
Yeah, Alexander. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's good. So much fun.
He's so good.
All right. And now we move on to what on the Letterkenny side was called the MVP, but on Shoresy's side, for a reason that you won't know until later, we're going to call it the game stick. Who are you giving the game stick to? So same as the MVP. So I'm just changing the name. So
well, it's your turn to go first, Al.
Yeah, I'm going to go first.
You
and
changed the name for that, but not for fresh compost. And
no, because somebody
we're
gave
open to the idea.
Yeah, we're open to the idea, but somebody already gave me a great suggestion to change it to game stick on the DM group, and I agreed. So that's what we're doing. Shout out to whose idea was it? Was it Jason? No, it was Jeff. Jeff, somebody who doesn't comment very much.
With all our production meetings, we didn't get to that.
No. So thank you, Jeff, for your idea. We're using your idea. So my game stick for this episode goes to Shoresy because Kiso's flexing muscle. He acting muscle. He hasn't flexed. He's not allowed to flex a Letterkenny. Letterkenny, he's supposed to be stoic. He's supposed to be squinty and he does it well.
I saw his eyes.
He does it well. In this one here,
I didn't even know he could open his eyes.
There you go. Shoresy's showing all sorts of new emotional range, and I'm loving it. And comedic range. Holy, like funny. Like I was saying, I think in the after party last week, it's kind of unfair because this guy, he's a brilliant hockey player. He writes really good scripts. He's a good actor. And he's funny. What the fuck? Like, what can he be bad at something, please? Like, come on.
Maybe
like,
he's a bad singer.
Yeah, who knows?
Sorry.
Yeah, maybe he's a good drummer too, by the way. Like he's so
drums are good. Drums are good.
So it's unfair. Like Kiso, smarten up. Like you got to be bad at something. Anyway, I give it to Shoresy for this one. Victor, who does your game stick go to?
Yeah, well, I mean, mine is easy as well, and I'll have to apologize to Matt because I'm probably stealing his pick, but it's going to go to Sanguinet. Easily going to be my favorite character. I know we haven't met we have to wait to meet the new characters, but I already know he's going to be my favorite character this season and probably beyond. I love him for all the reasons that Matt has already been gushing over. He was just brilliant. Like he was the brilliant sidekick to Shoresy. I loved I couldn't wait, for him to be in the scene. So easy game stick for my man.
All right. Tanya, who do you give the game stick to in this episode?
This one's hard because I totally did love Shoresy. I loved his character. It's his show. Mm-hmm. But I loved Nat. She shone for me, and I loved her character. So I'll give it to her since you already did Shoresy.
All right, good. 3 different game sticks. Matt, who do you give it to?
Yeah, so I mean, it feels like the obvious should have been Shoresy, and I love it. And you know, the funny thing is, as I was watching it, I had a moment where I actually laughed out loud after I realized how stupid it was, and I said, "Good for Kiso, man! It's great to see him showing his face now in a show."
Yeah,
and I'm like, I had this total dumbass moment. Like, that's right, he's fucking Wayne.
You're so funny.
I don't know. It was really ridiculous, but but that shows how defined the two characters are. I didn't even consider him as Wayne for a moment. I'm like, he is Shoresy, and now we're seeing Shoresy.
You are a special person.
Yeah, it was a good moment. But anyways, no, it's Sanguinet. Like I'm in love with this kid. He's so good. I'm with you, Vic. The way you said, I couldn't wait for him to be in another scene. I'm like, I think he just brings so much to the table. I hope it continues, but. Where has he been? Welcome to the show, bud.
Well done. Robby, who do you give this game stick to?
I think you have to give it to Shoresy. It's he's in every episode. So I think he's the easy choice.
All right. Great. So Shoresy, 2 for Shoresy, 2 for Sanger, and 1 for Nat. Excellent. So we're going to move on now to just an update to our cold open brackets results so far. Round 2 began on Monday. And so far, the first match of round 2, we had Stuart's Horn annihilating Jay and Dan 111 to 120. I'm not doing that.
That makes sense.
So Stuart's Horn wins. What? You want me to do that? Oh, okay. Here we go.
I'm like,
so I'm
for all the Shoresy's.
Shoresy.
I'm like, Al, you have to take your tooth out, man. For all the Shoresy episodes, you have to have your tooth out because that just is fitting.
Like for the whole
Al
thing.
Just removed one of his front teeth.
Yeah,
I moved the exact tooth.
It's the exact tooth.
Shoresy's missing.
I'm like, Oh my God.
You
it's
were
the
really
same
dedicated.
Too, right?
I am. I had it removed. I had it removed especially
just for this one.
Mm-hmm. That's how dedicated I am. All right. So there you go. I guess I'm doing this every time we record. So Stuart Soren beats Jay and Dan 111-20. And the match that's currently running is the Sock Hop Yarn versus Katie's Big Tarts. And currently and predictably, sorry, Trace, Katie's Big Tarts is winning big, 99-34. So
That's a surprise.
You think so?
No,
of course. So there we got those two matches in. Next week we'll have plenty more to share about that. In the news, I've already said our interview with Darren Rose had to be postponed to next week, but we're looking forward to having him on. Also next week we'll be on How Are You Now, doing a table read of A Fuss at the Golf Course. So that's going to be a lot of fun. We did our practice last week and it's as good as remember it. So can't wait for that. We also have one new Apple review, 5 stars, and it starts off best group of podcasters. You don't even have to love Letterkenny to fall in love with these guys. If you haven't watched Letterkenny, then watch it and follow along with their podcast episode by episode, and you'll feel like you're hanging out with family, or at least your best friends soon enough. The way they include their listeners makes it even more fun, and that's from Potato555E. I'm not sure who that is. If it's somebody we know, please let me know so I can add you to our draws for the end of the season. All right, we're going to play us off here with the song from this episode. It's called Hex by Arc Patrol. Let that spool for a bit. That's all we have for this episode. Next week, we review and recap episode 2 of Shoresy Veteran Presence with our good luck charm, Eliza. Don't forget to give our sponsor, Diabolical Coffee, some love. They are at diabolicalcoffee.com. Right now, you can use the promo code PROTOSTAN for 10% off any purchase from their site. If you'd like to support the podcast, rate us on iTunes, Spotify, or become a patron. There's a Patreon link on our site or Twitter profile at ProtoStanPod. We're also on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at ProtoStanPod. Thanks for joining us. Now we're going to go to the after party. See you all there. On behalf of Robby, Matt, Tanya, and myself, thank you for listening and have a great week.